Hello, Year 2, and welcome to the last reading skills session of the week. Today, we are going to be starting off by looking at some vocabulary which will pop up in our chapter today before practicing some of our inference skills. So, the four words we're going to be looking at today are crater, smothered, gallon, and tender. So pause the screen now and have a go at thinking of the definitions of those words. Okay, let's just go through what each of those words mean. So the first word then was crater. So a crater is a large bowl-shaped hole in the ground. So a large crater. Smothered. Smothered means to cover something entirely. Okay, so you might smother something up in water. The word is gallon. Gallon is a large volume of liquid. So you might have a gallon of water. It's very similar to like having a litre of water. That's how we refer to different volumes of liquid. So a gallon. And the last one is tender, easy to cut or to chew, so not tough. So you often refer to meat as being tender. Okay, so we're going to start off by just looking at the first section of chapter 8 now. Our fantastic Mr. Fox. And then I'm going to ask you some inference questions about the first bit of that chapter. And then after we've answered those questions, I will read you the rest of the chapter. So if you want to, you can pause the screen now and have a go at reading that yourself. And then you can echo read it with me afterwards. Okay, let's have a read through the start of chapter 8. So the foxes begin to starve. That evening, 3 tents were put up in the crater on the hill, one for Boggis, one for Bunce, and one for Bean. The tents surrounded Mr. Fox's hole, and the 3 farmers sat outside their tents eating their supper. Boggis had 3 boiled chickens smothered in dumplings. Bunce had 6 doughnuts filled with disgusting goose liver pate, goose liver paste, and Bean had 2 gallons of cider. All 3 of them kept their guns beside them. Boggis picked up a steaming chicken and held it close to the fox's hole. "Can you smell this, Mr. Fox?" he shouted. "Lovely tender chicken. Why don't you come up and get it?" Okay, so we're just going to be looking at that bit for now. And the 3 questions I've got for you today are, why do the farmers put tents up? Okay, so that's your first inference question. Making sure we're answering that in a full sentence. So it would start, the farmers put the tents up because, okay. The next question is, why did the farmers keep their guns near to them? So that's not in the text. So you do have to use your inference skills for that one and think like a sensible answer of why you think they kept the guns next to them. Again, you've got a sentence starter. The farmers kept their guns near to them because. And finally, why does Boggis hold the chicken near to the hole? So he held the chicken up near the hole and he shouted down to Mr. Fox. So have a think about why you think he did that. And then again, Boggis holds a chicken near to the hole so that, and you can finish that sentence off. Now, if you need to, you could always rewind and have another little read over that bit of the text. As soon as you're ready, grab yourself your pencil and your paper and answer those questions for me now. Okay then, so this is where we got up to on chapter 8. So I'm just going to finish off this chapter with you now. So I'll read from that last sentence. "Lovely tender chicken, why don't you come up and get it?" The rich scent of chicken wafted down the tunnel to where the foxes were crouching. "Oh, Dad," said one of the small foxes, "couldn't we just sneak up and snatch it out of his hand?" "Don't you dare," said Mrs. Fox. "That's just what they want you to do." "But we're so hungry," they cried. "How long will it be until we get something to eat?" Their mother didn't answer them, and nor did their father. There was no answer to give. As darkness fell, Bunsen Bean switched on the powerful headlamps of the two tractors and shone them on the hole. Now, said Bean, we'll take it in turns to keep watch. One watches while two sleep, and so on all through the night. Boggis said, what if the fox digs a hole right through the hill and comes out on the other side? You didn't think of that one, did you? Of course I did, said Bean, pretending that he had. Go on then, tell us the answer, said Boggis. Bean picked something small and black out of his ear and then flicked it away. How many men have you got working on your farm? He asked. 35, said Boggis. Well, I've got 36, Bunce said. And I've got 37, Bean said. That makes 108 men altogether. We must order them to surround the hill. Each man will have a gun and a flashlight, and there will be no escape then for Mr. Fox. So the order went down to the farms, and that night 108 men formed a tight ring around the bottom of the hill. They were armed with sticks and guns and hatchets and pistols and all sorts of other horrible weapons. This made it quite impossible for the fox or indeed any other animal to escape from the hill. The next day, the watching and waiting went on. Boggis and Bunce and Bean sat upon small stools staring at the fox's hole. They didn't talk much, they just sat there with their guns on their laps. Every so often, Mr. Fox would creep a little closer towards the mouth of the tunnel and take a sniff. Then he would creep back again and say, they're still there. Are you quite sure? Mrs. Fox would ask. Positive, said Mr. Fox. I can smell that man Bean a mile away. He stinks. So that is all for chapter 8, and I hope you enjoyed listening to that. Now, from Monday, we will be carrying on with this text, and we will start off by reading chapter 9 on Monday, which is called Mr. Fox Has a Plan. Okay, so do send across your answers from your inference questions from today. Me and Miss Broadbent look forward to receiving those. I hope that you all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye, everyone.